UT Tyler, Western Washington, game 1. That's Michelle Arias unloads her biggest homer of the year, her 8th on softball's biggest stage. From there, acrobatic defense saved 2 swings of the bat, turning tragedy into celebration for the Patriots. Now the Patriots are just 1 win away from their first national championship. Or will the heart-stopping Vikings force a Game 3? Game 2, UT Tyler, Western Washington, a natty on the line next. Close to 300 Division II softball teams have the idea that they would like to be playing for a national championship on this, the last day of softball in Division II. Boomba Soldier Creek Park, Longwood, Florida. It's the Division II softball championship. Game number 2, Western Washington taking on UT Tyler. Leah Secondo and the 3-time All-American Barb Jordan with you today for this special day on the softball field. Barb, you've had the opportunity to win and hoist this trophy 3 times. One of these teams will have a chance to hoist it the first, and you have to have great memories from that.
It's a very exciting moment for both of these teams. Obviously, UT Tyler in the driver's seat, having won yesterday's game. But Western Washington University, they know how to come back. They've done it time and time again, specifically in the postseason. Hey, they're a team that you couldn't look past.
Absolutely not. They're wearing their black uniforms today. They'll be the home team, and they're undefeated this season in those black unis. As the home team today, they have a number of players who have shined very well at the plate. And 2 of those players that have done very well with 7 hits. They have 3 players with 7 hits. One of your favorite players, Malia Andrews, Connie Patoy, and Emma Andrzejewski Ramirez.
Yeah, just a fantastic job at the top of the lineup. That's hitters 1, 2, and 4 for the Vikings. And Andrews at the top is, I consider, probably one of the most dangerous hitters in all of this tournament.
On the flip side for UT Tyler today, they're going to go with a player that has got him here in the circle, and that is Kristen Haygood, the Lone Star Conference newcomer of the year, and she has been solid throughout this tournament. She has led them through the high road, so to speak, here this week for the Patriots, and now a team that played in the semis a year ago, took North Georgia to the IF game, found their way back here this year, took that quicker path, and it's a hard journey to take for any team, especially UT Tyler making the transition from Division III to Division II over the last few years.
Yeah, doing that in a quick amount of time and appearing in the championship game, you know, hats off to head coach Mike Reed. And in the circle, Haygood, she's 4-0 in this tournament. And one of the statistics that impresses me is not just her wins, is that she's only given up 3 base on balls.
And for UT Tyler, winning yesterday 3-0. It wasn't hitting barrage. As we're getting set now, they're going to have our national anthem, and they'll have representatives helping with the flag today from the American Red Cross locally.
From helping people affected by disasters like home fires and floods to supporting the collection of life-saving blood, you can make a difference. 90% of our workforce are volunteers who are inspired to give back. Discover the volunteer role that's right for you. Join us and help turn tragedy into hope. We can't do it without you. Speak to the Red Cross today. Representatives are now helping us to unveil the American flag. At this time, please unveil the American flag. And now, as we honor our great nation and the men and women serving our country at home and abroad, we ask that you please rise and table and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem.
Game number 2 between Western Washington and UT Tyler getting set here from Longwood, Florida. Skies overcast. It is extremely hot. It has been hot all week, Barb. It was interesting listening to the coaches at the press conference saying, especially UT Tyler, it's hot in Texas, but we've never experienced this before.
Florida is its own beast with weather.
Taking a look at the lineup first for UT Tyler, 57-8 record they come in with, and I guess all eyes kind of focus on that third spot, their steady shortstop, Courtney Plocek, and Courtney has 6 hits thus far in this series. She's 6 for 14.
Yeah, they've had good production 1 through 9. Don't overlook Clarissa Zapata at the 9-hole. She has 1 of the 2 home runs for the Patriots this tournament.
Ceremonial first pitch this afternoon. There will actually be 3 youngsters involved in the ceremonial first pitch. This is awesome. This is part of Team Impact. Barb, I know you're very familiar with Team Impact and the children facing serious illnesses and disabilities. They're matched up with college sports teams, and they're going to have the thrill today to throw out the honorary first pitch.
Yeah, I love this. It is a big deal for these youngsters. They may not understand exactly their scenario, but just to be out there, this is something they're never going to forget.
That was a pretty good chuck right there. A good strike down the middle. And what a great thrill for them, and also for the players of the Vikings, helping to make their day just a little bit extra special, as well as the folks from the NCAA, the fans out at Longwood this week, and the UT Tyler fans. And with that, we're just about set to get underway as Western Washington getting set here, Barb, to take the field. Garrett Knowles will be behind the plate. Stacy Newton at first. Trina Comerfield out at second base. Also an honor for all 3 umpires to be calling a national championship game as well, so congratulations to them. Vikings always like that jump, Barb. Coach Gilmore kind of shared that with us the other day when we were speaking with her leading into game 1. And she said that they've actually won the toss a couple of times this week here, and you have a choice of uniform colors or being visitor. That's not the case once we get to the championship round, but she said that there are numerous times throughout the season where they like to get the jump. How do you feel about that?
I feel like whatever works for every team is different, and if you know your team likes to be visitors and lead things off and come out with the bang, then you know that's the call, and they can do that because they have a great pitcher in Kayana Kung, who has 11 saves and leads Division II, really leads any division in softball with 11 saves this year.
That's Allie Kimball out in the circle. She's a freshman and, again, has had a great year. And Kimball, top 30 in the nation in base on balls and Ks on the season, and West Region second teamer. And she's about set to get to work here today as she will face Sam Schott to lead off the game. Schott is 2 for 6 against Western Washington, 4 for 12 this week. Up high for a ball at 12:05 Eastern Standard Time. So glad you could join us on Memorial Day weekend. In this game 2, UT Tyler needing just 1 win to take home the national championship today. If Western Washington pulls it off here in game 2, we will have a third game roughly 30 minutes following the conclusion of our second game. And they have that tentatively scheduled right now for 2:30. Ripped and out of play.
Kimball in the circle has done a really nice job this entire tournament. You know, she spins the ball. She's going to throw it in and out. She's got a nice low rise, not afraid to mix in her changeup. But she's got under a 1.0 ERA so far in this tournament. Her only loss coming to UT Tyler.
Kimball on the year, 24-3 with a 1.34 ERA. However, this week she has a .95 ERA. She has started 5 of the 6 games for the Vikings and 29.1 innings pitched. 2-2. Popped up. And under it is Karami for the first out. Setting the fielders for you, we have Jacobson over at first, Connie Patoy at second, Haley Rath at short, Andrews at third, Barcombe, Karami, and Maddie Crum in right, left to right. Adrijeski Ramirez behind the plate, and Kimball with one out here in the circle. Nicole Price steps in. Nicole has just 1 hit and 6 at-bats against UT Tyler. 3 for 14 on the week. Cole is the steady glove out at second base. Good hustle there. Unable to gather it in foul territory. Price on the season, a .331 hitter from that left side. One and two. Goes after it. Strike 3.
Nice job by Kimball, stretching the zone, going to her rise. She did not get Price to bite the pitch before, but comes with the rise ball right here as she chases it.
And that brings up Courtney Plochek, 6 for 14, 3 for 7 against the Vikings. Her best game of the week actually came against these Vikings when she was 3 for 4 in the 10-1 victory with a double and a triple. One.
You see Kimball working the higher part of the zone. And as long as she can stretch it up and not lay it flat, it's a good pitch for her to go up against UT Tyler.
Outside corner, didn't get it. 2-2. This is Western Washington's 6th NCAA appearance, the first in a national championship game. 52-11 on the season. Full count now.
They are the first team from the Great Northwest to ever appear at the NCAA Division II softball championships. We talked about how it's been just a long journey for them to get here. Came the farthest, 3,200 miles. 2 different corners of the United States.
For sure. 3-2. And ball 4. So Plotek aboard here with 2 outs in the first. And that brings up the center fielder, J.T. Smith. Rips that first pitch, foul out of play. The Vikings swept the GNAC. They got into the regional, hosted it at home, had to win 3 straight, and did so to advance. Twice over Cal State San Marcos. Up high for a ball. And then the biggest comeback of them all, down 6 runs to defeat Cal State Dominguez Hills.
Yep, down 6-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Coach Cheryl Gilmore said she had to look at the trophy in the middle of the night to make sure it was real, that they actually came back and won Supers.
Dominguez Hills had a great run in 2022, playing for the national championship against the eventual winner in Rogers State. Right there, took something off of it, 2-2. Out in foul territory. And Smith will get another chance at it. These two teams spent a little bit of time together earlier in the week before play started. Helped out with the Miracle League last Saturday of Central Florida. Paired up with players to help them close out their fun season. Popped up. Again, that may stay fair. No, it stays in fair territory. Arias with the play, or Andrews with the play to end the inning. A little bit of a threat here in the first by the Patriots. They come up empty-handed. And we head to the bottom of the first with the Vikings coming to the plate. Welcome back to Longwood, Florida, home all week long of the Division II Softball Championship. There's your starting lineup. The battery for the Vikings. Malia Andrews will lead it off, Barb, but you've got to give some respect there in the 4-hole. Andrew Jeske Ramirez with that big bat this week.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here, but I got to start at the top of the lineup with Malia Andrews. She is just dynamite with the way she swings the bat. Her pitch selection in general has done a fantastic job, and she's definitely the spark of this offense.
First team all GNAC steps in, and she will face Kristen Haygood, who has been exceptional and recognized this year by the Lone Star Conference as newcomer of the year. Gets that corner 1-1.
Haygood, she'll attack different parts of the zone, so she won't just sit one side or the other, high or low, and she throws her pitches at different speeds, and that's what makes her so difficult to hit.
1-2. Haygood on the season, 1.45 ERA, 21-1. This is her 18th game that her 36th appearance of the season, and 135 innings pitched. Didn't get it, 2-2.
It's a nice spot. And that's exactly where your pitch should be, with 2 strikes. Very tempting for the hitter, but just off the zone.
4-0 on the week with a .74 ERA. Slap foul and out of play. Has only given up 3 walks and 16 Ks in 28 innings pitched. And she's gotten some great fielding behind her. 3rd best fielding percentage in the nation. Popped up and out of play. Good effort there by Sam Schott in left field.
Three pitches in a row to Andrews on the outside corner with 2 strikes. And we'll see if she comes and tries to bust her inside, but Andrews has exceptional power.
Goes low. An easy play at first base for Zapata.
A nice setup by Haygood right there. Getting Andrews is a big deal. Anytime you get the leadoff batter out, you know, that's what you want to do every inning on defense. But when you get somebody who is the spark, that's a big deal.
Connie Patoy steps in. She has been steady at second base and also a big stick for the Vikings, 7 for 23.
She's one of 3 players for the Vikings with 7 hits in this tournament.
Catches the corner for a strike. Defensively behind Haygood, Zapata, Price, Plocek at short, and Michelle Arias at third. Left to right in the outfield, Sam Schott, JT Smith, and Cassidy Mullen over in right field. Audrey Escamilla is behind home plate. And Haygood with a 2-1 count now on Patoy.
Nice change of speed. And if you can throw your changeup for a strike when you're behind in the count, you know that's a good pitch.
Full count now. Slapped down to Price, over to first for the out. 2 down now. Vikings only managed 4 hits yesterday against Haygood, but they kept the ball in play, and that's you prefaced that earlier in the week. Get the ball down, make the defense work, and
yeah, they had some good quality at bats. They drove the ball hard both times leading off an inning. But JT Smith in center field with a diving catch. Cassidy Mullen in right field with a full extension catch. And that stuff, when you make plays like that on defense, that just kind of takes away an offense's momentum.
Haley Rath steps in. She's had a super week, both offensively and defensively. The shortstop, 6 for 22. Had a big 3-run homer to keep the season alive in game number 2 against UIndy. Went 3 for 4 in that game. Pops this one up, and nice grab. That will end the inning. Super defense once again. 3 up, 3 down. We've played 1 scoreless. Welcome back to the Division II Softball Championship as the Vikings take the field, looking to extend their season. 2 games today is what Viking fans want, and they've been through this before. As for UT Tyler here, it'll be 5, 6, 7 with the leadoff big bat in Michelle Arias.
Arias with a big hit yesterday. And I just love the confidence that UT Tyler has going up against Kimball.
Called strike, 1-1. It'll be Arias, Michaela Garcia, and Escamilla scheduled up.
We saw Arias with one of the biggest hits of yesterday's game. We talk about that home run, but how she battled in the count for 10 pitches before she launched it out of the park.
Popped up and just falls in for the base hit to lead off the inning.
Arias gets fisted, but strong enough just to loft it in behind Rath and in front of Karami.
So that brings up Michaela Garcia. She has been solid all week long, understanding her role as the DP for these Patriots. Squares and pulls back. The Lone Star Conference Freshman of the Year and a member of that first team in the Lone Star Conference, ahead in the count here, 2-0. She's gone 2 for 5, has had a hit in every game this week for the Patriots. Now.
Surprised she didn't pull the trigger there. 2-0 with the runner on first base. Interesting, she's taking a pitch. You want to be aggressive in a national championship game. You want to attack on all cylinders.
Three and one. Ball 4 low. So Arias moves down to second. Garcia with the rock takes first base. And that brings up Audrey Escamilla.
Kimball, as well as she's pitched with her .95 ERA in this tournament, the base on balls has been her Achilles here. That is her 12th walk this tournament in 30 innings.
Yesterday there were 5 walks given up, 3 hit by pitches, and during that time UT Tyler taking advantage of the situation. Escamilla lays it down, the only play at first, and the runners move up on the sacrifice.
Textbook sacrifice bunt here by Escamilla. She squares early enough so she's not surprised. She gets her barrel head out in front and lays it down perfectly.
So Arias moves down to third, Garcia to second. And that brings up the number 8 hitter, Cassidy Mullen. She's had a flashy glove all week long. And trying to get a flashy bat in right now to help her teammates out. That one out of play. Just missed 1-1, and with that, Andrzejewski Ramirez wants to go out and speak with Allie Kimball in the infield, kind of settle things in.
And you have to understand, you know, as a catcher who's ever calling the game, a slow hit ball to the right side could develop into a run. And we've seen both pitches here so far to Mullen be on the outside part of the plate.
Vikings do have activity in the bullpen with Kayana Kong warming up. Here with 1 out, runners in scoring position for the Patriots.
Mullen chasing that low rise ball. And if you are behind the plate, you are making notes. She's chasing the rise.
One and two. Clarissa Zapata on deck, and it hits her.
And the only pitch inside to Mullen, that at bat, is something that they were trying to keep real inside. Unfortunately, it just curves right up into her elbow.
Well, it kind of fits the mold as UT Tyler is first in the nation now with 90 hit by pitches. They're also 8th in the nation in walks.
Well, this is a huge situation for UT Tyler. With only 1 out and the bases loaded, you absolutely want to come across with at least 1 run here.
And Clarissa Zapata has had the hot bat against the Vikings, 2 for 3 in the 2 games played. She's 4 for 8 in the week. Yesterday, Barb, she was actually 0 for 0 at the plate. 2 walks and a hit by pitch, so buenos ojos, so to speak. Bases loaded, 0-2, 1 out for Zapata. Outside corner.
Beautiful pitch by Kimball, just missing. And that's a tough pitch to take as a hitter.
Absolutely. Top of the order, and Sam Schott waiting on deck. Ripped. Will it stay fair? No, it's foul ball.
And something hard and foul like that with a quick pull of the bat. I look for an off speed right here. Try to catch Zapata out in front.
Took something off of it, and Drujinski Ramirez kind of sliding that glove back in.
Sometimes no movement behind the plate is the best movement.
2-2. Arias at third, Garcia at second, Mullen at first base. Gets her in on the fist. The fight continues.
Yeah, tough pitches by Kimball, really painting the corners. That time coming in on the hands of Zapata.
Full count on Zapata. Coach Reed telling us what a great addition she has been coming over from Odessa College as a transfer and having that JUCO experience behind her. And here in a big stage with a full count in the second, Bases loaded. Ball 4. Zapata did a little dance back towards home plate there as there was hesitation, but the first run is across here in the second.
That is a professional bat by Clarissa Zapata. She was down in the count 1-2, works it back to a full count, draws the walk. Her on-base percentage this tournament is 750. That's what you want from a 9-hitter. Find a way on base.
So Kong continues to warm up. They're going to have a conversation in the circle with the bases still loaded here in the second. Garcia moved down to third. Mullen, who was hit by a pitch, up to second base. And Zapata now at first. That'll bring up the top of the order in Sam Schott, Lone Star Conference academic. This young lady is getting it done everywhere. On the field, in the classroom, travels abroad in the summertime to help out the less fortunate medically, and stepping in with an opportunity for the Patriots here to break this game open a little bit in game 2.
Schott, she's got power in this leadoff spot. Leads the Patriots in home runs.
Up in the air. Karami is in. 3 players there. They go back to third for the throw. That is off. But a nice job with Patoy, Karami, and Crum converging on the play.
Kimball coming in inside. Shot gets jammed. Patoy with a really nice catch.
Two down now for Cole Price. Price also a member of that all-academic team. Played a steady second base as well with her counterpart Patoy this week. Out to left field, played perfectly by Barcombe, and that ends the threat. But the Patriots strike first here. Welcome back to the Division II Softball Championship, game number 2 out of the best of 3 series. Kristen Haygood has a run to work here as we head to the bottom side of the second inning. Leah Secondo in the 3-time All-American and national champion in Barb Jordan. I'm so glad we could bring you the coverage this week. Honored to be working alongside Barb, who's also a member of the Division II Silver Anniversary team. As we get set here to go, it'll be Andrzejewski Ramirez to lead it off here. She takes a big cut.
Andrzejewski has a ton of power. She has displayed it throughout this tournament.
And the only team, Barb, that has kept her in check all week, ironically, is UT Tyler. She is 0 for 6 against the Patriots this week. 7 for 21 against the rest of the group.
Well, we've had a chance, you know, to see the different teams that come when they weren't playing to scout. You know, we saw head coach Mike Reed at many of these Viking games, and scouting is so important to prepare for your opposition. It plays such a big part. You know, they don't see each other. These two teams didn't see each other during the regular season.
Chopper. And Plowcheck kind of stepped back a little bit, let it come to her nicely.
If anyone's wondering if Courtney Plowcheck has a good arm, let's take a look at this last play. Fields this ball deep at short and just guns it across the infield.
That'll bring up the 5-hitter, Ashley Jacobson. 2 for 6 against UT Tyler. 5 hits on the week. Takes a big cut at it. She had a big RBI single in the IF game against UIndy. Went 2 for 3 in that one. Outside corner, 1-1.
That was an incredible day for Western Washington. Coming back, they had to beat UIndy twice. Did it in the early game of the day and came back and did that late afternoon. And that was no easy task.
How to play. That first game went 12 innings. It was 2-1. It was pushing close towards 4 hours. It was a good 3.5, 4 hour long. They got a little bit of reprieve in between as UT Tyler had to play their semifinal game against Lenore Rhine and ended up winning that game 5-2. Came back in the nightcap against UIndy 7-1.
Yeah, and what people don't necessarily realize is the weather in Florida is a lot different than in Western Washington. You're talking about 70-degree days with 0% humidity.
Jacobson goes down looking. First strike out of the game for Haygood.
Haygood working that inside corner. That is a very good pitch with 2 strikes.
Barb, we've only seen, now this will be the 6th batter in Emily Paulson, the DP. What are you liking early on in this game that you're seeing from Haygood?
Well, right now she's gotten the leadoff batters out each of the 2 innings, which is always a big deal. But she's stretching the zone. She's not just sitting on one corner. I think she likes to get ahead by going to the outside part of the plate. And if she does get ahead, she looks to finish these hitters off going inside. Not afraid to mix a rise ball, but if she's got to throw a strike, she's really busting these right-handed batters on the inside corner.
Haygood, the junior, Lone Star Conference Newcomer of the Year. As Paulson's looking for her first hit against UT Tyler.
And UT Tyler, they have a very big pitching staff, but Haygood has pitched the majority of the innings in this tournament.
Gathered in there, 3 up, 3 down. We have played 2. The Patriots with a 1-0 lead. Welcome back to Longwood, Florida. It'll be 3-4-5. Courtney Plochek will lead it off. She walked her first time up back in the first inning. Kimball continues to work here in the 3rd. Called strike.
Coming into this tournament, Plochek led the team in average, and she has not disappointed in this championship.
Up high for a ball, 1-1. UT Tyler looking to be the first South Central region team to win a national championship since West Texas A&M did it for their 2nd national championship in 2021. Downing a solid Cinderella Biola team in 3 games out in Denver. West Texas A&M taking the Lone Star Conference Championship this season, and Patriots regathered themselves in the regionals with a sweep of 3 games. Having some time off certainly helps. They outscored their opponents 25-3. Much in the same part the way they've outscored opponents here this week.
Well, and when you get ahead, it takes a lot of pressure off your pitchers, especially when you get an early lead. Although just having 1 run in this game, I wouldn't say there's a ton of pressure off of Haygood at this time.
Slapped out of play on the left side. Had to come back in the Supers and defeat Oklahoma Christian 2 times to be the champs.
I thought, you know, coming into this tournament, head coach Mike Reed talked to his team and said, don't try to be something you haven't been all year. Like, don't try to reinvent who you are. Like, we want to be who we are individually, collectively, because that's what's got us here. And I think it's really great advice, because sometimes people get into a big game and they think they've got to do something extra special. And really, you just want to make contributions like you've done all year. It's easier said than done.
Easier said than done. Listening to Michelle Arias is a 2-2 count here on Plotchek. In the press conference yesterday, she talked about, she was almost sheepishly smiling about the home run and like humbled to be in that scenario yesterday and helping out her team with the 2 runs. It probably won't, it fully won't set, it doesn't settle in until you see your teammates at home plate, I guess, or afterwards when you're reflecting on the season. This one into the gap, falling in for a base hit. Plotchek's going into second base. Good hustle there for the double.
This is all Plotchek. It's a soft fly ball, so it gives her some time to get down the line, but she sees that it's in the gap, and there is no hesitation on her part. She extends it and says, I'm going to take a chance with my aggressiveness. I'm going to go for 2, collecting her 2nd extra base hit of this tournament.
Long strides there, effortlessly going into second base for her 21st double of the year. And that brings up JT Smith. Smith popped up to Andrews at third base. Ripped sharply to left center field. That's going to get to the wall. Plotchek comes around to score easily. The 2nd run of the game, standing up at second base, is Smith with the double.
Well, we always say you got to be aggressive to win. It's a hitter's count, and JT Smith goes after it, lining it into the gap and easily scoring Plotchek.
UT Tyler fans are happy. That will force a change in the circle for the Vikings, as a short day for Allie Kimball, who has been spectacular this week for Western Washington. And that brings on Kiana Kong. We're going to step aside as Kong warms up, and Barb will break her down after these messages. Welcome back. A pitching change, Barb, for the Vikings here in the 3rd inning as UT Tyler's bats come alive, and there's Kiana Kong in the circle. She has been solid this week when they've needed it, and stone face for the freshman.
Stone face it is. Their head coach Cheryl Gilmore says Kong has ice in her veins, and she likes to use her drop ball, let her defense play behind her, and I'm going to tell you, she does not get frazzled in big situations, which we saw earlier in this tournament against UIndy.
Absolutely. 3 times in this tournament, Kong has been in very difficult situations with runners in scoring position and bases loaded, very similar to what she's doing right here with JT Smith out at second base now. And Michelle Arias, the hot hitter for the team, at the plate. Arias singled her last time up to center field. to the right side and out of play into the bullpen. Kimball's line, 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, and a strikeout, and 13 batters faced. Down low for a ball, 1-2. Chop foul at the plate.
Seekong working that drop ball on the outside corner. Arias doing just enough to protect and foul it off.
One and two. Ooh, gets her inside. Second batter hit by a pitch today as Arias takes first base, and Smith will remain out at second. Michaela Garcia steps in. Garcia walked her first time up. Two now.
Escamilla getting herself into a hole, taking the first 2 strikes. A difficult situation because Kong is so good at stretching the zone low as well as outside.
One and two. Slapped, just foul. UT Tyler's program was started by Mike Reed back in 2005. We have so many different programs, Barb, enjoying their 50th anniversaries right about now with women's sports. Kind of hard to believe that a young team, and actually we have, I was looking it up this morning, we have 10 teams that will be joining Division II within the next few years, which is great to see as well, the growth of the game. I know you're involved in so many levels of the sport, the growth of it, the continued success of it. Two, slap down. I think she got in, she did. Andrews was looking for the bag. Made a heck of a stop, Barb.
Yeah, this ball has some spin on it. And Andrews gets in front of it, goes to the bag before she has the ball. It's good hustle on the base paths.
So bases loaded now with a Smith at third, you see her there. Arias down at second. Garcia reaching on the fielder's choice. Fannon's going to go in to run out at second base. She has done that a couple of times this week. So Haley gets in to run at second for Arias.
Pitch runner at second base for Patriots, Haley.
So Fannin out at second, Garcia's at first, and that brings Audrey Escamilla up to the plate. Sacrificed her last time up. Three for 10 on the week, 2 for 4 thus far against Western Washington. Up and just running out of room there is Ashley Jacobson. Good effort. Short area to work with.
Tough play right there to make that over the shoulder.
Escamilla, Lone Star Conference second teamer, takes this one outside 1 and 2. Already working on her masters. Did 4 years and 3.5 in psychology. Very amazing considering the balance between a very long softball season and the grind of academics for a psychology major. Goes up and out of play. One and 2 now here in the third. Bases loaded. Second consecutive inning that the Patriots have had the bases loaded. Down and goes and gets it. Falls in for a base hit in front of Karame. 1 run scores. 2 come around as Fannin from second base with good wheels.
Nice piece of hitting by Escamilla. And this is what UT Tyler needed. They needed somebody to bust this game open as she lines it to center field, scoring 2.
If you're the Patriots, you feel kind of like the pressure balloon coming and relaxing you right now. And if you're the Vikings, Barb, you've been on both sides of the table here. Some of the thoughts that they're trying to regroup right now with runners on first and second still and nobody out, 4-0 in a series that they're already trailing in.
Yeah, well, you want to come away with an out right here. You know, obviously, you know, they still might try to move the runners and get another runner on second or third base with less than 1 out or 1 out. But I think the biggest thing for UT Tyler, no lead is safe in college softball. I mean, Western Washington has the capability to come back in this ball game, and I'm sure that UT Tyler is very aware of that. So if you are on the offensive side and you have a lead, the biggest message is don't stop.
Still no outs here in the third. Cassidy Mullen getting set to step in against Kaina Kong. Mullen was hit by a pitch her last time up. Cuts inside for a strike. Two doubles and a single here in the third inning. Malia Andrews doing some cleanup work over there at third base with Coach Reed.
The lost piece of jewelry. I mean, what could be more important to stop a game than a lost piece of jewelry?
Well, we're back at it here. 0-2, 2 runners on. 3 runs already in for the Patriots here in the third. And she held on, she did. Big strikeout for Kong, her first in relief. 1 down. And that brings up Clarissa Zapata. Zapata walked her last time up. Goes after the first pitch, shoveled to third base for the out on the fielder's choice.
Routine ground ball by Zapata. Rath making it look easy as she flips it over to Andrews to get the lead runner and the second out of the inning.
So on the play, Escamillo moves up to second base. Zapata taking first, and that'll bring up Sam Schott. Schott has flown out to center and popped up to Patoy at short, who made a great grab on a ball going back. Straight up and out of play. Didn't get it. Was right there. Nearly took out a camera lens going back foul there. Pretty close. Chop back to Kong, the plate at first base, and the Vikings are out of the inning, but not before the Patriots score 3 runs to now lead it 4-0. Welcome back to the Division II Softball Championship. Leah Secondo, Barbara Jordan, and our entire crew. So glad we could bring you the sights and the sounds this week from the D2 Softball Championship, part of the Spring Festival here in Orlando, Florida, and the region area of tennis and golf and lacrosse and softball. Takes a total team effort. Appreciate all the volunteers as well that have helped out at all the different facilities to make the week special for the athletes.
Yeah, that's what makes it successful. People that contribute like that.
Lexi Barkham leads it off. This is her first look at Kristen Haygood. Kristen moving along, setting the side in order the first 2 innings. It would be Barcombe, Karami, and Maddie Crum. 7, 8, 9. Up high. My goodness, good thing that took off a little bit more, Barb.
Yeah, that pitch absolutely got away from Haygood.
Slap down to second base. Price with the easy play over to first for the out.
Now batting for Western Washington, the center fielder,
Taylor Karami steps in, looking for her first hit against the Patriots. They have kept her in check in 6 appearances at the plate. Taylor had a big hit, actually the big hit, in the 2-1 game over UIndy. And she was the difference maker with that RBI to lift the Vikings to victory in 12 innings.
Yeah, that was just a huge game played in the heat of the sun. Coach Gilmore saying it was the stickiest, sweatiest, grittiest, but most fun day I've ever had on a softball field. They were all out here for 19 innings for 2 games, coming through the losers bracket, winning both of those games to propel them to the championship.
Down low for a ball now. 3-1. Ball 4. 1-out walk to Karami. That brings up Maddie Crum. Crum as well, looking for her first hit against the Patriots. She's 5 for 20 on the week. 0 for 6 against UT Tyler. Softly hit to second for 1, over to first. Don't get the double play, but a good turn.
Now batting for the Vikings, the third baseman, Malia Andrews.
That brings up the leadoff hitter, Malia Andrews. Lined sharply to Zapata at first base.
Escamilla doing a nice job behind the plate, keeping that ball in front of her. Haygood gives her a lot of praise, saying she is the one that keeps me sane during a game. And you always got to love that relationship between a pitcher and a catcher. It's everything for success.
1-0 now. Chopper. Easy step there. Pavlicek for the out. That retires the side. Patriots rolling along here. 4-0 over Western Washington. Welcome back to Longwood, Florida, home of the Division II Spring Festival. Leah Secondo, Barb George with you. Barb, we've had the good fortune of doing 15 games thus far this week. We've seen a lot of softball. We've seen some great talent around the country. Any particular players or moments that stand out for you thus far?
Well, I like the speed that Wilmington displayed on the bases, but individual performances, I got to say, the pitcher for UIndy, Kenzie Smith, she was so impressive. And then Lauren Rakes for Lenore Rhyme. I mean, she did it Offensively, she did it in the circle. She was just everywhere, and I just thought those two players specifically played like warriors.
Absolutely. Lauren Rakes from Lenore Rhine, she was 2-0 on the week and helped Lenore Rhine defeat Wilmington 5-2. Had a complete game victory, actually 6-4 in 9 innings, and it was Rakes both offensively and defensively after they took on Wilmington in that battle with them. As you said, just really helped will them on. Kenzie Smith, great week for UIndy. Kenzie in the circle, she was 2-2 on the week, 4 complete games. 20 strikeouts to lead all pitchers this week at the D2s. Chopped in the box foul.
I mean, it was a tall task for Western Washington to beat UIndy twice with Kenzie Smith in the circle, and I think it really was crushing for UIndy.
Yes.
Because they had plenty of chances to score. 3 times they had the bases loaded in extra innings of that game and came up short with Kong in the circle.
2-2. On Price.
I think that really sat with them, you know, not scoring in those extra innings and then finding a way. They had break and they came back out, but they really came out and just lit it up and really just exploded in that second game against UIndy.
Nice job at first base by Jacobson, grabbing that one in for the first out on Price. Plocek steps in now. She doubled last time up, got the inning going for the Patriots. One of the young players that was really impressive was from Augustana, Desi Cuevas. Had a big bat. Big bat, hit a homer this week. Was 3 for 5, one of the top batting averages in the young week for Augustana.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Little Desi Cuevas. Yeah, she made her mark here for sure.
Shows bump, pulls it back.
Augustana's had so much success. They're another team that we expect to see back here at the Division II championships.
Certainly always in the conversation. Courtney 1 for 1 in the game with a double and a walk. Slow roller here. Raff, did she get her? She does not. Good hustle down the line.
Just a slow roller here to Rath. She sits back just a little bit, but it is just the speed of the ground ball that allows the speed of the runner, Plocek, to get down the line. It's good hustle.
Gave Plocek a hit on that. And JT Smith takes it on the elbow. Heads down to first base. Third batter hit by a pitch today. And now 91st of the season. Coach Gilmore coming out and asking Garrett Knowles if maybe she leaned into a little bit here.
Coach Gilmore absolutely making sure that Garrett Knowles understands, you know, not happy with that call. And again, the third hit batter of the game, all on the elbow.
That brings up Michelle Arias. She was hit by a pitcher last time up, singled her first. And with one out, runners in scoring position for the Patriots. Nice stop by Rath. Only played a little flip over to Andrews at third for the fielder's choice.
Big pitch by Kong, jamming Arias, who cannot get extended. Rath fields that hard ground ball, getting the lead runner at third.
Michaela Garcia, who's walked and reached base by fielder's choice, takes a called strike.
Garcia with the slow roller to third her last time up. And Malia Andrews was unable to field it cleanly, which loaded the bases.
In tight. Slaps it. Down to second, over to first for the out, and that'll end the threat here in the fourth. Patriots with a 4-0 lead over the Vikings. Back to the Division II softball championship. Patriots in command here in game 2. Vikings need to force a if game with a victory here. But they have some work to do here, Barb.
Yeah, they're looking to get a leadoff runner on. Up until last inning, Haygood had retired the first 7 batters of the game.
Connie Patoy at the plate. Patoy bounced to her counterpart, Price, last time up. Rath and Andrzejewski Ramirez also scheduled up this inning for the Vikings. Popped up, and in center field, JT Smith, the first teamer, Lodestar Conference player, picks it up for the first out. Haley Rath stepping in. She popped up to third her first time up back in the first inning. Takes a called strike.
Rath's offensive numbers are down just a little bit in this tournament, although she still leads the Vikings with the most RBIs. So definitely she knows how to have timely hitting.
And that timely hit was probably, that ball's probably still sailing out in the trees out there, or maybe has found an alligator. From the 7-1 victory over UWindy, 3-run blast. Slapped out.
Came up with that big hit in the first inning of that game, and that really set the tone. After that 12-inning game, they had a break, and then in the first inning, they just exploded. And I think it stunned UWindy.
1-2 now. Keeping it on that outside corner, see if she would fish at it. 2-2. Goes back inside, popped up, and out of play.
Rath, the GNAC Player of the Year. She gets it done at shortstop and obviously in the 3-hole.
Down low for a ball. Ball 4. So a 1-out walk to Rath. Back-to-back innings that Haygood has given up a 1-out walk.
And that is just the 4th base on ball this entire tournament by Haygood. She has had excellent control.
And she faces Emma and Andrzejewski Ramirez, who took a big swipe out of that there and was hoping to bring her team within 2 runs with that cut.
Yeah, I think she'd like to cut this in half. You see her standing in on the plate, anticipating Haygood's outside pitch. Haygood going inside on the previous pitch.
Down low, throw to first base.
And, you know, being 6 feet tall, Andrzejewski has a lot of reach, so if you're going to miss outside, you better get it off the plate.
Down low again for a ball. 2-1. One down here in the 4th.
Yeah, I think this is real interesting because Andrzejewski is standing on the plate, anticipating the outside pitch, and Haygood is missing just outside. We'll see if she decides to bust her in. And she challenges her, and that's what you have to do if you're Haygood. You have a 4-0 lead. You have to go at these hitters.
Full count now, 1 down. And Rath down at first base. Pops her up. Not a play. There on that outside corner.
That is a big strikeout by Haygood. Not just because it's the 2nd out of the inning, but because you have just struck out one of the most dangerous hitters in the Viking lineup.
2nd strikeout of the game for Haygood. And that brings up Ashley Jacobson. Goes after that first pitch, pops it up for the 3rd out of the inning. We have paid 4 complete. UT Tyler up 4-0. We head now to the top of the 5th inning. Game number 2 of the Division II Softball Championship. UT Tyler just needs to win 1 more game to hoist that national championship trophy. The Vikings of Western Washington, they have done it before. Never say never until that last out is counted in, Barb. They need to win 2 today to be the winners of their first national championship crown.
Well, right now they need to get out of this inning and try to use some momentum to take up to bat offensively.
Audrey Escamilla stepping in here with a 1-0 count. She singled and sacrificed back in the second inning.
No hits on the day so far for the Vikings. Haygood has been in charge most of this day. And on the flip side now we see Kong in relief as they chased out the starter, Allie Kimball.
Outside corner by Kong low. Kong, an All-American, honorable mention, and a school record 10 saves this year for the second team GNAC. Bouncer sharply to Andrews, and with the flashy glove over to first base for the out. Cassidy Mullen is struck out, was hit by a pitch. One of 3 batters hit by a pitch today. Brings that season total up to 91. Oh, 1 count. Lays down a bunt, dives in front, foul ball.
It's a nice bunt. Andrew Jeske, the only one that can field that. Home plate umpire Garrett Knowles says foul ball. Lucky for them as it sails out into right field.
0-2 count now. She wants to have a conversation with Coach Reed on this.
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa, yeah. Oh, 2. This one's in play. Kong's got to hurry. They don't get her.
An infield single for Mullen. She goes to slap it. It deadens right in front of the plate. Kong the only one to make the play, but too much speed.
One out, 1 on. And that brings up Clarissa Zapata. Reached base on a fielder's choice in his walk today. Shows bunt, pulls it back, gets away, and down to second goes Mullen.
Ball in and out of Andrew Jeske's mitt. Mullen taking advantage of it. Good anticipation as she gets into second.
So 1-1 count now on Zapata. With Mullen in scoring position. Inside.
And we saw Mullen decide to go, stop, decide to go, and just said, you know what, I'm in a safe spot right here in scoring position at second base.
Patriots are 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position today, and infield wants to get together and discuss it, make sure that they're all on that same page here. Take a breath. Two balls, one strike. Mullen out at second, sometimes between second and third. And Zapata at the plate. Rips it. Oh, nice play there by Rath to hold on. That saves a run.
Rath with great reflexes and a lot of athleticism as she dives into the 5-6 hole, snags this line drive, and probably saves a run.
2 down now, top of the order. Sam shot. Slow roller coming across. Rath charges it for the third out. To end the top of the 5th. Vikings coming to plate here, trailing by 4. Two, 3, 4 scheduled up for the Vikings here in the bottom side of the 5th inning. Price, Plocek, and JT Smith. That'll be coming up actually for UT Tyler in the 6th. Right now though, Paulson, Barcombe, and Karami. Paulson popped up to Arias her first time up, her only trip to the plate today. Haygood has faced 14 batters thus far, Barb.
Yeah, she's done a fantastic job, you know, in this game. She's yet to give up a hit. She's got 2 walks, but she's been in control thus far.
Those 2 walks both given up with 1 out. Fair ball, thrown across, the long way to go for the first out of the inning. 1 down.
And it's getting late for Western Washington. Their biggest deficit in the postseason came in Super Regionals in the elimination game. They were down 6-0 in the bottom of the 4th and came back and won.
7-6 in 8 innings in that 3rd game.
Yep, beating Dominguez Hills of Southern California.
Saw Domingos Hills a few years ago on this platform. Made a great run. I became very good friends with their doggy that they had traveling with them in Denver. Team mascot, team dog, team good therapy dog for the squad.
We need a therapy dog for the press box. That'd be fun.
That'd be fun. Surely would. Lexi Barkham finds herself up in the count 3-0 now, and that brings a conference between Audrey Escamilla and Kristen Haygood. Oh, those conversations. Anything to lighten up the mode. Taylor Karami on deck. Haygood's back to work here. Down on the count, 3-0. consecutive inning with a 1-out walk.
And this is a very dangerous part of the game if you're the Patriots. Obviously, you think you're cruising along. It's 4-0. There really hasn't been too many offensive threats from the Vikings. But if they are able to get some runners on and turn this lineup over, the top of their order is extremely dangerous, specifically with Malia Andrews in the leadoff spot.
Mike Reed coming out to speak with Haygood here as Karami squares. Dual activity in the Patriots bullpen. Slapped and gets through. And there is life in the Vikings dugout.
Plocek actually breaks towards second base, takes a step over, the ball goes to her right and finds its way through. A nice piece of hitting by Karami.
Barkham down at second base, Karami at first, Maddie Crum at the plate. First hit of the game for the Vikings. With 1 out here in the 5th. You can hear the life of the Vikings shining through. Out of play. Outside corner, 1 and 2. Chopped. Oh!
And that is going to be interference. Runner will be called out, and we'll see if Price is all right.
Cole Price, a steady second baseman this week. Glad to see Nicole standing up. Glad to also see Taylor Karami okay, as she was the runner there, Barb.
Crum with the bouncer.
Oh.
And Price charging it. Karami chooses to try to get by her instead of going around her. It ends in a huge collision. And it's good to see Price up on her feet.
Both players okay. Yeah. So the ball is dead on the play. Karami is out creating the collision. Crum is at first. soon as that ball becomes dead. And with that on the play, Barkham actually goes back to second base. So 2 outs. Runners at first and second. And that brings up Malia Andrews in the top of the order. Andrews 0 for 2. Cuts at it, out of play.
Coach Gilmore recruited Andrews. She had known her since she was 11 years old and knew back then this girl was going to be special. And when she was able to recruit her, and once she got the job at Western Washington, she knew she would be an impact player.
1 and 2. Yeah, we've heard some great stories this week, certainly from all the coaches, how they've built their teams, their programs. 1 and 2 now. Hard hit ball, one hopper over to first. Nice pick by Zapata as that ball was going away to make the play for the out. Patriots managed to come away unscathed. Best opportunity of the game for the Vikings. Patriots lead it 4-0.
There's an urgent need for sports officials across the country as they are retiring 4 times faster. They're coming in, leading shortages in all levels of sport. NCAA recognizes the importance of officiating on the student-athlete experience and is dedicated to the recruitment and retention of youth officials for all sports. Say yes to officiating. Visit NCAA.org/sayyes-to-officiating.com. For more information, get started. That's NCAA.org/sayyes-to-officiating.
Welcome back to the Division II Softball Championship. We are going to crown a champion today as UT Tyler and Western Washington. We move to the top of the 6th inning. And stepping in is Nicole Price, the second baseman, who just took a free train with the movement of Taylor Karami trying to run really hard to second base there. So Karami's back out in center, which is great to see as well. Price stepping in the box here to hit.
Earlier in the top half of this inning, we just see a big collision between Karami and Price, and a very key rally for the Vikings.
Price to Patoy over to first for the out.
Good sharp piece of hitting by Price.
Plojek's 2 for 2 on the day. Lifts this one out, fair ball, 3 for 3. And with respect there, Barkham gets the ball in quickly.
Nice job of hitting by Plojek, going, swinging early in the count. This pitch is down and away. She does a nice job of just driving it as it just hugs inside the line.
She is now 6 for 10 against Western Washington this week. And 9 for 17 in the tournament. So that brings up JT Smith JT has doubled, popped up, and been hit by a pitch. Chopper gets through. Here's Plotchik all the way to third base, sliding in, going into second is Smith. She is safe as well.
Here come the Patriots. We talk about being aggressive. If you want to win a national championship, be aggressive and take chances. This bouncer through the middle by Smith. Plotchik thinks about it for half a second and decides, you know what, I'm going all the way. And Smith follows her as she dives into second.
Very aggressive base runnings. Runners now on second and third. Michelle Arias up with first base open. Let's see what Kahn does here. On that outside corner.
Good discipline by Arias, understanding what she's looking for here. She wants a pitch that she can drive out of the infield to score another run.
Lays it down. Foul ball.
And with the corners playing back, Mike Reed calls a squeeze, and that ball rolls foul. And again, I like the aggressiveness. If the defense is going to play back, make them pay.
2-2, one out. Runners at second and third.
You know, the thing with squeezes, if it works, it's fantastic. But if it goes foul, you know, we just got a strike on the batter, and it was really unproductive. But that's a chance you take.
Coach Reed looking on. Lofted out to center field. Off the ability of Karami to make the catch on the play. One run comes in, two runs come in. And Arias all the way to third base as that one went to the wall.
This is excellent two-strike hitting by Michelle Arias. She drives it to center, a diving try by Karami. This ball just goes all the way to the wall. Arias all the way to third after scoring two. They bringing in Joy Baker.
She's trying to settle things in as Western Washington here with UT Tyler. 2 big runs here in the 6th.
We saw Joey Baker earlier getting loose in the bullpen. Looks like they're going to stay here with Kong, who's got a ton of experience. And I like this call, sticking with Kong. I think she's good for their mojo. I think she's good for their enthusiasm overall. She's somebody that can spark them.
So we continue on with 1 out, and Michelle Arias at third base. Michaela Garcia looking for her first hit. Slapped third base side. Just foul. One and one on Garcia. Cuts her on the inside, the only play at first base for the out. Not allowing Arias to take off on the sharpness of that ball. Two down now. And Audrey Escamilla, 1 for 2 on the day, takes a called strike. One and one. Down low, 2-1.
UT Tyler doing a nice job offensively today as a whole. Scored 1 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, and now 2 here in the 6th. It's so important offensively to keep staying aggressive, keep pushing runs across, and not let your opponent think that they can get back into this ball game.
Inside pitch for a very long foul ball into the parking lot. Two now with 2 outs. Good stop there by Andreski Ramirez. And actually there has been a change. I was wondering, I thought that person catching was a little bit shorter than Emma, and that's actually Paulson behind the plate now, catching Kong.
Well, you've talked about Mike Reed, his success at the Division III level, here at the Division II level. He is second all-time in NCAA in any division in winning percentage.
Base hit, RBI. 7th run is across for the Patriots. Escamilla fighting off that 3rd out with a solid base hit there.
That's a big at-bat. Battled with 2 strikes, gets a pitch up in the zone as she laces it into left. Scoring 1 more run and creating even greater distance between the Patriots and the Vikings.
Angelique Rangel will come in now to run at first base for Escamilla.
Angelique Rangel.
Slapped on the first one, knocked down, safe at first base.
This is Mullen just showing off her speed, and this is why left-handed slappers want to use the ground. Just a small bobble by Andrews, and it's Mullen's speed that beats it out.
Clarissa Zapata hit a very sharp hit ball caught by Rath at short her last time up. Reached base on a fielder's choice and has walked this game. Runners at first and second. Bouncer, foul.
Zapata has 1 of 2 home runs for the Patriots during this tournament. Michelle Arias yesterday with her big 2-run blast.
One and one. Popped up. Good audio there as you hear Karami calling it for the play and the 3rd out of the inning. The Patriots send 8 to the plate. They extend their lead to 7-0 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Welcome back to the Division II Softball Championship. Kristen Haygood motoring along here, Barb, as we head now to the bottom of the 6th inning for the Vikings.
Haygood throwing a fantastic ball game. 3 walks on the day, has yet to give up a base hit.
First batter, there's a base hit. Patoy is on.
Swinging early in the count as she lines it through. And once again, you can hear the enthusiasm coming from the Vikings dugout. They had it going last inning. They had runners on, but a miscue base running error really kind of put a nail in that.
Lofted out to right center field. Good track on it by Mullen for the out.
They're a very dangerous team, a lot of capability 1 through 9, and a lot of power, specifically right here.
So Emma Andrzejewski-Ramirez has left the game defensively. Stays in the game as the DP, just kind of flip-flopping with Emily Paulson. Emma has struck out and bounced to short. One out, one on. Lofted up in the air. Is there enough room? And there is.
How about Escamilla running halfway down the first baseline in foul territory to make this catch? This is not easy for a catcher to go from her squat position and to run 25 feet to make the catch. On the last day of her collegiate season. I mean, talk about having something left in your legs.
Quickly, there are 2 outs here. Ashley Jacobson is struck out, popped up. Good hustle for sure, and a short area to work with for Escamilla. One and 0.
Haygood getting a call there. Garrett Knowles has done a nice job behind the plate. It's been consistent.
Big cut at it.
You know, and as pitcher and as a hitter, that's what you want. You may not always agree with the zone, but if it's consistent, you can manage. You know what you have to do on both sides of the ball.
Slapped out to right center field. That has legs to the wall. Here comes the Vikings' first run all the way around to score. Western Washington is on the board. Jacobson at second base.
It's a nice piece of hitting. Ball completely off the plate on the outside part of it. Paulson goes and gets it. Pitoy easily running from first to home. And if you are the Vikings, you like to see them start clawing back. This is what they do best.
Ashley, Layla Carpenter actually going into run at second base. So the Carpenter into run at second base for Jacobson. Emily Paulson 0 for 2 on the game. Down low for a ball, 1-1. Inside low, 2-1.
And right now, if you're Haygood, you want to keep going and pounding the zone. Let your defense help you out. You don't have to do it all by yourself, especially at this point in the game.
Especially with the defense behind you. Activity starting in the Patriot bullpen. This one with Arias making the catch there in foul territory. Big out, stops the threat. Vikings get one and trail after 6, 7-1. Welcome back to the Division II Softball Championship. as we head now to the 7th inning, and a new pitcher for Western Washington. That's Joey Baker. Joey, Barb has seen time this week in the circle for the Vikings, just trying to give the Patriots a little different look.
Yeah, she keeps the ball down, not afraid to stretch it high. She has a lot of success when she's able to mix in her change of speed. She actually started 30 games this season for the Vikings.
Baker got some time in game 2 against Western Washington. Win an inning, gave up 3 hits, 5 runs. 4 of those were earned and a walk. Top of the order here, she faces Sam Schott with a 1-1 count. Schott 0 for 4. Lofted, base hit. Schott leads off the 7th with a single. Giving jazz hands there. Nicole Price 0 for 4 on the day. Seeing what the defense is doing here. On the corner for a called strike.
Nicole Price stayed in the game after getting run over, attempting to field the ground ball earlier in the game.
Lays it down. Nicely done. The only play to first. Schott moves up to second on the sacrifice.
Good job by Andrews, hustling in, cutting that off. UT Tyler not sitting on their 6-run lead. Still moving runners into scoring position.
Courtney Plowcheck. She's in check on the day. 3 for 3, 2 singles and a double.
Plowcheck has been around. She's a graduate student. So a lot of composure she has displayed throughout this championship.
Took something off of it for the strike, 1-1. Nice save by Paulson behind home plate. Got away.
Baker just wants to come in and attack the zone. Again, let her defense work.
JT Smith on deck. Nice stop once again. Ball 4. One out walk. Runners now at first and second for JT Smith. JT 2 for 3 on the game. JT singled yesterday to kind of give that cushion run that the Patriots needed. Today she's been active as well. got the scoring going, making it a 2-0 game, was involved in getting the score to 6-0. 0-2 here against Baker. Outside corner, didn't get it. Gets through. That'll be good for another run, the 8th of the game for the Patriots. And now with runners at the corners.
It's a nice piece of hitting right here by Smith. Drives it right back up the middle. And the Patriots are just circling the bases.
Patriots started their program in 2005 as a Division III school under Mike Reed. They have built it up quickly, had success at the D3 level. This is their 3rd consecutive appearance in the national championship setting.
And they credit him with his organization, the way he prepares his team. And you don't get to championships in D3 and D2 without starting from the top. Somebody setting standards and goals and getting that foundation of success.
Runners at the corners for Michelle Arias. Arias is 2 for 3 on the game and is hit by the pitch.
Now batting for UT Tyler, the designated player, Garcia.
Pitch just breaking inside and gets Arias right on the elbow.
Funny part of that was, because it wasn't funny, because it didn't hit her funny bone, but she had the pad on, it just wasn't connected to take some of the sting off of it. So, bases are loaded here with 1 out. And that brings up Michaela Garcia. The DP Garcia 0 for 3. The freshman has played a solid tournament, understanding, Barb, her role as the designated player. Down low for a ball. Now. Back full, 3 and 2. 1 out. Plotech at 3rd, Smith at 2nd, Arias at 1st. And that brings in Plowcheck from third base. The senior Escamilla stepping in. She's 2 for 3 on the game. A pie for a ball. So the runners move along. Smith is down at third now. Arias at second. Garcia at first. Breaks inside just right. 1-1.
That's going to be a nice job keeping her hands back on that changeup. And that is one of the best pitches by Joey Baker. Right now, Baker not being as consistent in the strike zone, but it is her changeup that she is throwing more consistently for a strike.
Got her chasing it, but that one's out of play. One ball, 2 strikes, bases loaded, 1 down, and slap foul.
Leah, you mentioned earlier that the Vikings have not lost in their black uniforms all year. They are 15-0 wearing the black jerseys. And sometimes when they have coin flips, they choose to be the visitors or the home based on the fact as if they can wear their black jerseys. Or if their laundry's clean.
If their laundry's clean, which the other night they did it very, very late. Ball out to left field, second out. Barkham gathers it in, tagging at third base. And scoring is Smith. On the sacrifice.
Good at bat by Escamilla. She drives this ball a long way. Barkham coming in. And another runner tags and scores.
Pitch hitting for UT Tyler, number 20, Tara Stewart.
Pinch hitter, excuse me, pinch hitter now for Cassidy Mullen. And Coach Mike Reed going to his bench a little bit. Tara Stewart will have an opportunity to hit here in a national championship setting. So Stewart hitting for Mullen. Tara Senior. Takes a ball up high here with 2 outs now. One and one. Took something off it, dropped down just a little too low. 2-1 now. Senior from Ovilla, Texas steps back in to face Baker here with 2 down. Up and out of play. Up high, full, nice stop by Paulson behind the plate to save that one from going to the backstop. Inside, ball 4, bases loaded. But check that. Actually, strike 3 call. My apologies. So that will end the inning here in the 7th for the Patriots. Vikings coming back.
Awesome. Fantastic effort from our umpire.
Welcome back. The top opportunity here for the Patriots here in the bottom of the 7th inning for the Vikings. Last call, 3 outs, and a lot of work to be done. However, the Vikings have done it several times this year. You never say never until it's completely over. And Hanaka Hero stepping in as a pinch hitter here.
This is her 3rd pinch hitting appearance so far in this tournament.
One and 2 on Hirai. Telekarami scheduled up next, followed by Matty Crum. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, 1 out here in the 7th.
And you see the exclamation by Haygood. She can feel it and she can taste it. They are 2 outs away from a national championship.
The senior Telekarami at the plate has patrolled the outfield solid for the Vikings this week. Was involved in a collision 2 innings ago. And good to see her back, and went right back out there in center field. Stood tough. 0-2 now, though, on Taylor. One and 2. Didn't catch it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sticking with that outside portion of the plate. The battle continues here, 2-2. Back-to-back strikeouts for Haygood.
Haygood staying tough. She's gotten stronger as this game has gone on. They are 1 out away from closing this out.
Maddie Crum stepping in. Goes after that first pitch, out to right field, and the national champions, for the first time ever, UT Tyler.
A complete team effort for the Patriots. A lot of offense, 1 through 9, and Courtney Plochek and JT Smith, a combined 6 for 7 in the lineup, scoring 6 of the 10 runs for the Patriots.
And how about that? Kristen Haygood in the middle of that group right there, the pitcher. Barb, a 5-0 week to lead the Patriots to their first national championship.
She set the tone in the circle again. When she had to dig in, when she had to get tough, she absolutely did it. Only giving up 2 hits here in the final today.
Improving her record to 23-1 on the year. Western Washington, what a year, what a run they have had as well, finishing the season at 52-12. Certainly nothing to be shabby about. Their run, their effort, getting to this big stage for the first time.
Yeah, they're a young team. I expect to see them back. Team 32 represented the Vikings well.
Absolutely. Accolades will be handed out along with the individual trophies for the week. Each team will receive smaller individual recognition, and also for the national champions, they'll have those small national championship trophies, which are so cool as well. What a run here by UT Tyler. They finished the year at 58-8 on the season. I want to thank a few people on our crew as well. Seamus Crater and James Andrews, the guys pushing the buttons, bringing you all the pictures. Of course, all the cameramen and women the entire week for those 15 games that we've provided you on NCAA.com. And of course, my colleague providing all the insight from her insight as a D2 Silver Anniversary Team member, Barb Jordan. It's been a pleasure. I'm Leah Secondo, UT Tyler, your Division II national champions. Stay with us on NCAA.com. We're going to step aside, but stay with us for all the trophy presentation and celebration.
Members of the NCAA Division II Softball Committee. Andrea Miller from Slippery Rock University, representing the Atlantic region. Jason Anderson from Southern Arkansas University, representing the Central region. Susan Cassidy Light from Malloy University, representing the East region. Melissa Frost from the University of Indianapolis, representing the Midwest region. Dixie Cirillo from Colorado School of Mines, representing the South Central region. Kendall Rainey from the University of Virginia's College at Wise, representing the Southeast region. Neil Morgan from Biola University, representing the West region. Chair of the committee, Val Silvestrini from the Florida Institute of Technology representing the South region. At this time, it is our pleasure to introduce the 2024 NCAA Division II Softball Championship All-Tournament team. A junior pitcher from UT Tyler, Christine Haygood. A freshman pitcher from Western Washington, Allie Kimball. A graduate student catcher from UT Tyler, Audrey Escamilla. A senior infield from Wilmington, Lexi Moore. Graduate student infield from Indianapolis, Emily O'Connor. Graduate student infield from UT Tyler, Courtney Klojak. Junior infield from UT Tyler, Clarissa Zapata. Sophomore outfield from Auburn University Montgomery, Chloe Baines. Junior outfield from Auburn University Montgomery, Haley Ann Frank. A senior outfield from Wilmington, Sarah Miller. A junior catcher from Western Washington, Emma Andrzejewski Ramirez. Graduate student third baseman from UT Tyler, Michelle Arias. A graduate student pitcher from Lenore Rhine, Lauren Rakes. And give it up for the most outstanding player of the tournament, junior out of UT Tyler, Christine Haygood. Now let's recognize and congratulate the two teams in this year's championship game. The 2024 runner-up is Western Washington, coached by Cheryl Gilbert. Haley Rath. Lexi Markham. Rachel Trexler. Amaya Davis. Ashley Jacobson. Allie Kimball. Malia Andrews. Kiana Kong. Emily McCutcheon. Riley Anderson. Hanako Hira. Joey Baker. McKenna Crum. Connie Patoy. Taylor Karami. Evie Messina. Isabella Bay. Layla Carpenter. Emily Paulson. Alexis Slater. Emma Andrzejewski Ramirez. Paris Della Magore. Head coach Cheryl Gilmore. Assistant coach Sharina Labasan. Assistant coach Leah Francis. Assistant coach Forrest Longenecker. And athletic trainer Thomas Silberberger. Fans, let's hear it one more time for the Western Washington University Vikings. And now, the 2024 NCAA Division II softball champions, the University of Texas at Tyler. Haley Fannin. Crimson Bryant. Michaela Garcia. Madison Locano. Angelique Rangel. Taryn Barney. Nicole Price. Sam Schott. JT Smith. Leah Henserling. Clarissa Zapata. Kristen Haygood. Kaylee Davis. Cassidy Mullen. Tara Stewart. Genesis Armendariz. Michelle Arias. Audrey Escamilla. And Courtney Plochek. Head coach Mike Reed. Associate head coach Whitney Wiley. Assistant coach Shannon Klaus. Assistant coach Anthony Springer. And the athletic trainer Laurel Trail. Will Courtney Plochek, Audrey Escamilla, Michelle Arias, Genesis Armendariz, and Cassidy Mullen please come forward for the trophy? Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a round of applause for the University of Texas at Tyler Patriots.
Sorry. No worries.
Paid my dues, time